I miss you. And that's it. You're going to miss me next week, though, Thrat.
Yes, you're gone.
I'm going to go play with the remains of stones that have been ground into canyons. And
Yeah. So lay out what you're doing here exactly. I know you're flying into Vegas.
get on the big bird, fly that thing to Vegas. We land in Vegas. Hopefully get a car. We've rented a car. I'm hoping they still have the car. That is always
The hard part is keeping the reservation.
Yes, as long as they have the vehicle and it works and functions as expected, we will drive that dino-juiced machine over to the Hoover Dam.
Right. Get your binoculars so you can see the water, because it's probably way the hell down there now.
I was thinking high dive. We just...
So I would do that. It's probably like 10 feet of water or something now.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I bet it's really low.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we will go see at a dam not holding any water for a few hours. Whatever, we'll do that. And then I'm assuming that my wife and kid and I will all be fighting because you've been up since 4 a.m. and we've been driving around and hanging out.
I will say there's nothing quite like the experience of flying with your family, especially if someone like you who has traveled a lot for work and you have your own little way of doing things and you do those things for a reason. And man, it's just not really open for debate. And yet here we are in the middle of an airport arguing with each other because you can't get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport on time. And seriously, we have a flight to catch. And you've been there. Anyway.
Right. Yeah, I mean, usually drugs and alcohol help, but it's a little hard when you got an 8-year-old. It's like, here, sweetie, take the tequila.
Right. Well, at least 8 is better than 2. Okay. So,
that is true.
So you're going to, let's see, Grand Canyon?
Yeah, well, so we're going to hit Hoover Dam, and then we're going to come back to Vegas. We're going to stay in Vegas because my wife's never been, so we're not going to
Okay. Where are you staying in Vegas?
Venetian.
Oh, nice.
Because, Paul, this is going to be shocking to you. Shocking.
Yeah.
The Venetian isn't outrageous if you're not there during CES. Surprising.
No, that's been my experience with a lot of places in Vegas.
Like what you would pay at the Venetian, which is a very nice hotel, is like a standard Hampton Inn next to an airport during off. It's like
a Hampton Inn with slightly more baubles.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So then
how long are you in Vegas? A couple of days?
Just one day. We'll probably just walk up and down the strip, see the Bellagio or whatever, see the sights.
That should do your wife for the rest of her life.
Yeah, well, no,
when it comes to Vegas, the spectacle and insanity that is Las Vegas.
Yep. And then we will wake up the next day and we will drive to Zion National Park, which is like a 2-hour drive. Now the problem here, and this is knock on wood, the only day, the weather's looking bad for that day.
Really? What does bad mean out there?
Like 50 and raining.
Oh.
So cold and rain. So the problem is Vegas will be 80 freedoms, and then we're going to go to 50 freedoms and wet. So
yeah,
the one
that's interesting
saving grace is that we only did Zion as a half day because we're trying to maximize the amount of stuff we could see without whatever. So we're driving to Zion. There's a couple things we can do, and then we were going to leave after a few hours and drive to Page, Arizona, which is another couple hours away. So it's like a 2-hour drive to Zion, 1 hour over to Page.
And you're going to stay at Page that night or whatever?
We're staying at Page, and that's where Horseshoe Bend is, which if you're not, that name doesn't sound familiar to people listening, Google it. You will absolutely know what it is. It's the Horseshoe Bend with the river.
Yeah, the river.
Then there's also Antelope Canyon out there. We'll be doing both of that, and then there's some other random stuff.
Okay.
Then we'll go to bed.
Antelope.
And you've been to Antelope?
No, I have not.
Oh. So then we'll go to bed. We will wake up the next day and drive to the Grand Canyon. We will go do... Oh, no, sorry.
How far is that from Page? That must
actually, no, never mind. I lied. After the day in Page, at night, in the evening, we're going to drive to Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Grand Canyon is where we're staying the longest. So we'll stay there, wake up in the morning, do the Grand Canyon. We got a bunch of hikes scheduled. And then we will sleep again in the Grand Canyon.
In the Grand Canyon?
Well, not like in the Grand Canyon, but like in the area.
Like the south side of the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, we're not going north side. It's
a long drive around.
Yeah, it's a big hole apparently.
If you can see it from space, it's big.
Yeah, and then we're going to drive over from Grand Canyon over to Monument Valley.
Right,
which that's looking pretty good. And then we will stay the night in Monument Valley, which I'm hoping that it's going to be crystal clear.
What's the name of the place you're staying there? I feel like I should know the name of it.
The View Hotel. It's the only...
Yes.
There's two hotels there. There's the View, which as it sounds...
There's two now. Okay.
And
What's
then
the
there's
other
another
one?
one called like Goldlings or something like that.
Oh, that Gouldings. Yeah, Gouldings.
Goldings,
So
yeah.
Gouldings is the one that's been there forever, and
Yes.
for millennia, it was the only place to stay. And I
Yep.
remember my dad, in his infinite wisdom, had given me the quote, "Gouldings is the place to stay in Monument Valley." And I said, "Dad, Gouldings is the only place to stay." So that was two. Okay, good. Okay.
So then we'll stay there overnight. And I'm hoping that we have like just dark skies so we can see.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. And yeah, to get some star photography going, and
That's the hope.
You'll see satellites, you'll see comet, or shooting stars.
That's the hope for there. And then we will leave there in the morning and go to Arches National Park, which is like 2 hours north. And so then we'll do a whole day. We'll leave by like 7 a.m., I'm sure. Be there 9, 10 o'clock, do a whole day at Arches, stay at Arches. And then we will leave Arches and drive to Salt Lake City, where we will stay the night and then fly out the next day.
So you're going on what day?
Saturday to Saturday.
Saturday. Nice.
So this is what we call, I mean, like everybody calls, this is traveling. This isn't a vacation. Like this is like, we're going to be
Well, I mean,
moving.
Yeah. Well, but you're going out to a different part of the country, which, by the way, is more different from where you live than Europe is.
Oh, I know.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like an alien planet, and it's beautiful. So that's neat.
Yeah, I've only flown over it. My wife's never done it. Obviously, my kid's never done it.
Right.
And we have my kid.
It's eye-opening how different it is.
We've been doing a bunch of longer walks. Like we actually walked to my parents' house last night and did this big loop. My daughter's like, my legs hurt. I'm like, sweetie,
get used to it.
You get one shot at this.
Yep. The next time you visit this area, you'll be paying for it.
That's exactly what we said. That's exactly what we said.
Yeah.
And if you're not nice, you'll be paying for this one too.
Let's go. Good.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. I am going to take the Surface Pro 8 as the device of choice if anybody cared. But
That's
I think
a good choice.
I think it is a good choice.
Very portable.
Very.
Powerful. I'm using it as my computer right now. It works great. Yeah, like I keep the first day I connected it to the display. Of course I had to install some things and whatever, and there was a lot of hissy fan noise going on, and I was like, man, this thing's like right in front of me. But that settled right down, and honestly, I keep checking it. Like I'm thinking this must be overheating. Like but it's not. It's fine. Like it works great. It's worked very well.
Here's a question. Two questions. One, I don't know if I know the answer to this.
Okay.
But we have the bigger power bricks for charging like an iPad. So it's USB-C on that wall.
Right.
It's like a 20 watt
for the.
should...
No. You got to get a. I doubt that a 25 watt charger would charge a Surface Pro 8. Like I think you need a minimum is probably 45, but more likely 65. Like the one that comes with it, which is of course Surface Connect.
Yeah.
Is 65. But you probably have. You must have something that like some computer, because any USB-C charger for a computer, like I have a bunch of HP chargers.
Yeah, this is 18
65.
watts.
No, you need you could test it with something like 45 watts if you have that. But I bet it's 65. Like you could use a 65 watt, I'll just say HP, Dell, Lenovo charger.
But I don't think I have any of those.
Because they would work with everything. That would work with the iPad. It would work with a phone. Well, not your phone, but like an Android phone. It would work with the computer, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you should look at it. But I think what you're going to find is it will either not register at all. It will pop up a little thing saying something. This isn't going to work. Or
it's good advice. I hate your advice, but it's good advice.
No, I mean it's obviously you want to minimize what you're bringing.
Right. I was trying to think if we could because we have two of them because we have one for iPad and then we're bringing one for the phones because they charge a phone in like 15 minutes or whatever.
So I mean, look, I don't think a charger and a cable is a big deal, but if you really, really, really wanted to save the space, remember the Surface Pro charger has a USB-A port on it. You can bring the cable and charge everything off the one thing.
The problem is that all the cables I just bought are USB-C to Lightning, and I hate Apple.
Yep. Well, you could still USB to Lightning off the computer itself, right? You'll have two free USB-C ports. I would just bring the charger personally, but
we'll see. Stay tuned. If I come back going, it didn't work.
Stay tuned to Brad's search for a Best Buy in northern Arizona. Honey, we have to drive 2 hours out of the way.
Yeah, we're not seeing another rock formation. Daddy needs a charger.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, everybody with the Surface 2 Duo, you got an update coming. I know everybody's very excited about that.
Does the update like print out a return label and you can just get your money back? Sorry, too much.
Things you might want to return is if you have Gran Turismo 7. This has been a fun little thing. So Gran Turismo 7, they apparently tried to roll out an update, and it bricked everything, like their servers. And so the game has been offline or unplayable for the most part for, I think, over 24 hours now, or 24 hours.
Wow.
So if you thought Halo screwed up their launch.
Was it codenamed Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk. Oh, my God. There's something else. Oh, yeah. Kind of glossed over the fact, too, that Microsoft is completely upending their partner program, and a lot of partners, especially the small companies, are bigly mad about this.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to know too much about the partner program just to read that, blog post and be like, oh, this is not going to go well. I could tell, like, the first email I got was from somebody who said, hey, we're supposed to get, like, a perpetual version of Office as part of this program, and we're still on whatever the last version is. They never gave us the new version that just came out, and it's like, dude, I got bad news for you. Like, the fact that they're turning us into like a cloud thing is probably indicative of the fact that the only thing you're going to be getting is like Azure
no longer
credits
the
and
partner program. It's a cloud partner program or whatever it is. They just slapped the word cloud in there to show that if
well, I mean, look, I'm not in the partner program. I don't really understand it in a very deep level, but from the outside, you have to understand, like, as Microsoft moves to hosting their own services. And as things move, with the move to the cloud, like obviously the partner program changes with that. I mean, it's in the old days, partners would basically resell Microsoft products like software, oftentimes with like maintenance contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And, when you're not putting hardware in some location and monitoring that for you or using a third party hosting service, it's Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft, they're taking a bigger chunk of the available revenues or whatever. So, they've been inventive trying to, involve partners. And a lot of it has to do with like, it's almost like affiliate program stuff. Like you bring us a customer and we'll give you a little bit of money, maybe every year or whatever it is. It's not like it used to be. So I don't know, maybe this was just inevitable.
Oh, I think it was inevitable, but it really hurts the small shops that were gold and silver and,
yeah. What are they now? Sand and paper and
rock,
scissors.
So,
yeah.
That's kind of the big stuff that's happened in the last whatever hours of the day, I think.
Yeah. I'd look at my site, but it's time for maintenance again.
No, I'm scrolling it.
That's back. Okay. Yeah, there's not much going on. My Internet Explorer is still dying sometime soon.
Oh, Ignite. I think you even tweeted it out. Ignite looks like it's going to be virtual this year again, unfortunately. So
it's disappointing. I was really kind of hoping for a hybrid event.
I bet they still have a media event in the fall. I mean, that's going to be the first best bet is some sort of server hardware event in the October timeframe. I
mean, I could say without violating any NDAs, there's various kind of virtual events that are smaller than Build happening over the next some period of time. And they're doing virtual briefings for that stuff, as you would expect. But yeah, I mean, even if Ignite was in person, I feel like they'd have a virtual briefing for that too, right? So
yeah,
hardware maybe makes some sense to have in person. But what hardware is going to come out? Surface laptop? I don't know. Oh well.
Well,
anyway. Yeah, have a good trip.
Yep, we'll be back a week from Monday, provided I don't get eaten by a vulture.
I will forward you all the emails from people wondering where the show went.